Hello, friends. You know, one of my favorite stories in the book of Genesis is the story of Jacob wrestling with God. To set the scene a little bit, God has sent Jacob back home, back to his brother Esau, whom Jacob has betrayed not just once, but twice. And Jacob is quite reasonably concerned about how that reunion might go. So he prays, "Deliver me, God, deliver me from the hand of my brother." But as Jacob makes his way back home, he doesn't want to put all his eggs in God's basket, so he sends a bribe ahead of him. A great flock of sheep and goats and camels and donkeys. He tries to buy off Esau in order to soften him up a little bit. And finally, when the time has almost come, Jacob takes his family across the river Jabbok, and then Jacob sleeps alone on the other side of the river. At least he thought he was alone. Out of the darkness, a stranger leaps onto his back and grabs hold of him, and Jacob wrestles this man all night until the dawn begins to break. And when it looked as if Jacob might win, the man struck the side of Jacob's hip, and he was injured. His hip was knocked out of socket. But Jacob's grip still remained. He still held on. It wasn't even like he was trying to win. He was just trying to stay alive, looking for something, looking for anything to hold on to, like a drowning man reaching for a life preserver. And so they were locked together, Jacob and the stranger, struggling and striving and wrestling together, neither one willing to give up, neither one willing to give in. Until finally the stranger said, "Let me go. Let me go, for the dawn's about to break." Perhaps this is when Jacob figures out that whomever the stranger is, there's a power there. There's something strong and mysterious and holy. And Jacob said, "I won't let you go. I won't let you go, not until you bless me." Always a deal maker, Jacob, even when his life is on the line. "What's your name?" the stranger asked. "Jacob," he said. An honest answer for the first time in ages. And the stranger said, "You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For you have struggled with God and with humans, and you have prevailed." "Tell me your name," Jacob insisted. "Why do you ask my name?" the stranger said. It's a good question, because it seems as if Jacob already knows everything he needs to know. The stranger gave Jacob his blessing and disappeared, and Jacob limped away, knowing he had seen God face to face. Such a strange and wonderful story. And it operates almost as an antidote to our misplaced expectations. Here, God's chosen is a con artist. Israel is a scoundrel. In our world, where even the slightest misstep is catastrophic, where a slip of the tongue is unforgivable, where failure seems almost always to be fatal, how refreshing it is to hear this story where God takes that which is broken and makes the world whole. And through Jacob's story, we reflect on our own story. We know what it means to stand alone in the dark. We know what it means to be overcome with a power that is greater than our own. And we know what it means to hang on and to hold fast until the coming of the light, trying not to let go until we've been blessed. Like Jacob, we have received God's blessing, and we have the wounds to prove it. It's a healthy reminder that our story, your story, my story, well, they aren't fairy tales. If happily ever after is what we're after, well, we're destined to be disappointed, folks. Our story isn't a fairy tale. It's a story of relationship, of covenant, of living together in the presence of God. And so I wonder, friends, in what ways have you wrestled with God? In what ways have you struggled with God? And in what ways have you been blessed in and through that struggle? Would you pray with me? Holy God, may we continue to hold on to you, not letting go until we've received your blessing. Amen. Thanks, friends. Take care. Have a fantastic week.